Join me right now, back on the show. Kumite TV is unblemished UFC heavyweight Jairzinho Rozenstruik. What's going on?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, good, man. Let's talk about your last fight. 9 seconds. Is that the fastest knockout of your career?
Yeah, that's my fastest knockout. My last was 10 seconds. Was in 2019 December, and now I got the 9 seconds just in Greenfield.
In your first fight, you got the second round knockout. This one was 9 seconds. Did you feel a lot more comfortable going into that last fight?
Yes, I always feel comfortable going into the fight, but sometimes it's the way the opponent react. So you got to be ready to respond or counter what the opponent's gonna do. So on that point, Alan Crowder was like, yeah, he came forward and I was shooting the jab out and he walked through it. So I finished the fight. I follow up. Yeah.
After that fight, everybody, was very high on you, or they're still high on you. They're waiting for you to return. There was rumors that you were going to fight Alexei Olynyk in Moscow, November 9th. What happened to that fight?
Um, they asked me to fight him. I accept, but I think he was injured. So that fight don't go through. So,
I'm pretty sure you wanted that fight really bad because he is a ranked opponent, and now you're facing an unranked opponent. So were you kind of disappointed?
no, I'm not. I'm fighting on the biggest court of the year, fighting in the historic arena. And yeah, I'm glad. And I'm glad to be back in the octagon, do my thing, you know. So
Yeah, speaking of the biggest card, UFC 244, Madison Square Garden, fighting in that famous arena. Does that mean a lot to you, to be able to fight in a place like that?
yeah, it is. It is a huge place. It's the most famous arena I know in the world. So, but for me, it's the same fight. I want to be in the octagon, knock somebody out, and get back out of the octagon, enjoy the time. So that's it.
You're facing a former UFC heavyweight champion, Andrei Arlovski. Was he a guy you were always interested in fighting?
I always watch Andre. Andre is he got my respect for sure. I was playing with him on my PlayStation, and I'm gonna compete against him in real life. So I'm excited for the moment to compete against him, and yeah, I hope it's gonna be a huge experience. I'm looking forward to that.
Even though Arlovski, he is a very big name in the sport, he is still 40 years old now. He's an older guy. Do you feel he is still a higher level skill wise compared to your first two opponents?
Nah, I guess Andre still got the skills. Many guys in the of the UFC call him the gatekeeper of the heavyweight. So we're gonna see it November 2nd. Yeah,
Yeah, he has been doing his job as so-called gatekeeper of the UFC heavyweight division. He's went last 8 fights. He's went to the judges. He went to the decision. With that said, do you feel this fight coming up, he'll get past the first round with you?
I don't know. We're gonna see it. I'm ready, and yeah, we are professionals, so we're gonna put down a major performance so everybody can join the show, and for sure it will be a good fight. I
You
guarantee you
have been
that.
in Miami for some part of this training camp. Where have you been training to prepare for Arlovsky?
I train in Hard Knocks, and Arizona do my training camp, so that's it.
I know you have your main coach, Michael Babb, but is there any other coaches that you have been working with to prepare yourself for this fight?
Yeah, I work with my boy John Kelly from the strength and conditioning, live free CrossFit. So I've been working with him too, and he's also a ground coach. So we're doing our thing with him, and Michael Bob is the head coach.
I know that before that you would bring in some training partners to help you. Now, Hard Knocks 365 has so many fighters. Who are the guys that you work closely with for this camp?
I train with all those guys: Lyndon, Steve, Ang, God, I don't know all the names, but I work with a lot of guys. Peter Belfort, Rashad Evans. So all those guys helping me. We train together, feeding me the skills. So I think that's all I need.
How is it training with those the old school guys, like Vitor and Rashad? Have they been giving you lots of advice, on the side to help you prepare yourself for that UFC stage, the higher level?
Yes, it is. You can see those guys have is another level you're training with. Those guys know the game for years, and they kind of prepare you for what's coming. And the only thing I do is pick it up, learning, and keep moving.
You have been training very, very hard since, joining the UFC. You have had back to back to back to camps, long camps. Do you plan on taking some time off after this fight to enjoy the holidays and kind of relax?
Yeah, I am. But if the UFC decides to put me one more time of this year, that will be nice. So I always keep space for that because my plan was fighting 4 times a year. So if I got a chance to do that, that will make my year better. So, but for now, I'm happy to fight 3 times a year. But the extra is the 4th time. So I'm still looking forward to that.
You said you want to fight. Who is on your radar? Who is a guy in the top 15 that interests you the most in a fight?
For me, no one. I just want to beat the ranked and the top 15. I'm looking forward to that. And as soon as I'm getting in there, I'm going to start taking them out and try to be the heavyweight champion of the heavyweight division.
Francis Ngannou, he has come out and said that nobody wants to fight him. He's having a hard time getting a fight. Is that something that you would like? Would you take on Francis? Like if the contract comes, like is that a fight that you are very interested in taking?
If the UFC decide to do that, I'm going to be in for sure. What do you think? I'm not stepping backward for no one, so let's get it on.
I see that you have signed with a new management group. How helpful has that been, to advance your career?
Now, those guys is my friends from the music label Top Notch and Noah's Ark. They decided to support me, so it's gonna be. They do my documentary. They bring me a new walkout song. It's from Dutch. It's a music label from Dutch, and they introduced me to the big audience of them. So I'm gonna be more famous than before.
How are you handling becoming more famous? Fighting in the UFC, people recognizing you. Outside of maybe even walking down the street in other countries that you didn't really get recognized in. How are you handling all that?
I always stay close to myself and just be myself and enjoy the time mostly. That's the thing I never did in my career. Enjoy the time. So that's what I do after my fight. On my off time, I enjoy the moments.
One last thing before I let you go, there's many different types of competitors in MMA. Do you consider yourself more of a martial artist or a prize fighter right now?
Martial artist. Yeah, sure.
Why is that?
Because I like to go in the octagon, do my thing, and get back out. Yeah.
All right. Well, November 2nd, UFC 244, Andrei Arlovski, Madison Square Garden. Jairzinho, thank you so much for the time and good luck on the fight and the rest of the year.
Thank you, and it's always nice to talk to you. Want to say to my fans, you want to know my story? Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you want to know more about me, just follow my YouTube channel. All right.